Hi, this is Rosario Borgesi. Have you ever wondered how you can stake your ETH and still use it in DeFi? In this video, we will break down liquid staking on Ethereum and the Lido protocol step by step. Let's dive in. These are the topic of this video. We will cover the various type of staking available on Ethereum. We will talk about in more detail about liquid staking and we will also make a deep dive into the Lido protocol. In particular, we will explore the protocol fee, also, of course, how the protocol works. We will talk about the APR and see a demonstration on how to calculate the rewards. We will also talk about how the withdrawal process works, and we will also talk about the governance of this protocol and security. We will talk about the difference between stETH and wstETH. We will talk about the rewards and risks. We will see how to use Lido in DeFi. Um, so how to use stETH and wstETH in DeFi, and also we will make a demo using the Lido application. We will see how we can practically use Lido. Let's start by talking about staking. What it is staking? As you can see here in this picture, we have the Ethereum blockchain, which is, as you know, a ledger of transaction that are distributed among the nodes of the blockchain. And then we have these validator nodes. Each must stake 32 ETH to secure the Ethereum blockchain. So basically, staking means staking this Ethereum to create a validator node so that we can secure the blockchain, as we will see more in detail. So, as we said, staking means locking it to activate the validator software. So, validators are responsible for storing blockchain data, processing transactions, proposing new blocks. These actions, of course, help secure the Ethereum network, and in return, of course, they receive the ETH rewards. So we stake 32 ETH, but by performing all these operations, we get back a reward. So to run a validator on Ethereum, we must deposit 32 ETH. This deposit activates the validator software. Once active, the validator participates in the network consensus. So the flow is we first deposit it, we run the validator software, the validator software starts validating blocks, and of course it will earn rewards. So the validators perform three key tasks. First one, they propose blocks, which means they create new blocks containing transaction. Second task, they validate blocks, so they verify that other validators the proposed so they verify that other validators propose valid blocks, and they of course maintain the network, so they ensure that transactions are correctly processed. These actions of course keep the blockchain running securely. Let's talk about staking rewards. So validators receive ETH rewards for helping the network reach consensus. So the rewards are given. Reach consensus means
that all the nodes agree upon a result. Okay, so we are, for example, all the nodes are agreeing that I have sent it to, for example, Alice. Okay, so every nodes of the blockchain is um, accepting this. So rewards are given for proposing valid blocks, validating other blocks, staying online and operating correctly. The more reliable the validator, the more rewards it earns. Of course, if the validator goes offline, it will incur in some penalties. So, staking improves security. The more ETH that is staked, the harder it becomes to attack the network. So, to control Ethereum, an attacker would need the majority of validators, the majority of staked ETH, and this, of course, would require a lot, an enormous capital, and so this make these attacks, this kind of attacks, unfeasible. Mm, validators must lock it as collateral. If they behave honestly, they earn rewards. If they misbehave or behave maliciously, they can be penalized. And this is called slashing. So basically, you a part of the it, or depending on the type of misbehave that they have done, part of the it or the all it are taken from that are taken from um, a part or total of the it that are taken from the validator. So this creates a strong economic incentive to protect the network. So how we can stake it? So basically, the whole point here is that we want to stake it so that we can earn rewards. So there are different ways to participate in staking, and this depends on how much it we have, our technical skill, of course, and the level of control we want. The main options, sorry, are home staking, staking as a service, pooled staking, or centralized exchange. Of course, not all the people are able to run a validator software, or maybe they don't want to, because of course if the software goes offline they incur into slashing, so they don't want to lose their it at stake. But maybe there are also other people who want to have this kind of control. So of course these options reflect all this possibility among different groups or different people to participate into staking. So home staking means basically that we run our own validator. So we start this software, this validator software, on our own machine. The requirements are, of course, 32 ETH to deposit, a computer which is running 24/7, and of course we need to run the Ethereum validator software. The benefits are full rewards. I don't share any rewards with anyone. I take all the rewards, full control over the funds, and this of course helps to decentralize the network. Then we have staking as a service. In this case, we stake, we all, um, we are still staking 32 ETH, but in this case, there is someone else who is running the software, who is running the validator. So the provider manages the hardware, so the machine where the software is running, the node operation, and the uptime. We have the withdrawal keys, but we must trust the provider to run the software, the validator software correctly. Then we have pooled staking. Pooled staking allows user to stake any amount of it. So before we had to stake 32 ETH. In this case, we can stake any amount. So Why? Because users combine their funds to reach the 32 ETH requirement needed to run the validators. So the benefits is that we can stake even smaller amounts. We don't have to stake the whole 32 ETH. We can still earn staking rewards. We don't need an hardware. So many pooling solutions introduce liquid staking tokens. That is what we will be covered in detail. So from pooled staking, we go to liquid staking. What is liquid staking? In the case of liquid staking, means that when we stake this little amount of ETH, let's say 0.01 ETH, we receive a token that represents our staked ETH. Okay, so for example, as it happens in Lido, we stake it and receive this stETH token or staked ETH token. Okay, this is useful because we can do two things at the same time: earn staking rewards and also use this token in DeFi. So the token is not sitting there just earning the rewards, but we can use it, as we will see later on, for example in Aave or in other for example platform, to in DeFi operation, and we could also earn other rewards, and we can also sell or trade this token anytime. The last type of staking is the one that relies on centralized exchange. So many exchange offer staking services. This means that we deposit it on an exchange and we earn staking rewards. The advantages is that it's very easy to use and don't need any technical setup. The risks are that, of course, we do not control our funds, so we are trusting a third party, and this, of course, creates centralization risk for the network because, of course, all the money are centralized on one platform. So, in this table here, we are comparing all the options that we have discussed. Remember that liquid staking is is included into pooled staking. So, in home staking, we are required to stake 30 to 8, also in staking as a service. In home staking, we have full control. In staking as a service, we have a medium control. The trust, in this case, is trustless because it is our own machine, our own software that runs, our own machines runs a validator software. In this case, we have to trust the provider. In the case of pooled staking, we can stake an amount, so even less than 32 ETH. The control is medium and we need to trust the protocol. For example, Lido, as we will see. In exchange staking, we can also share any amount. We have low control. We have to trust totally the exchange. So let's start talking about the Lido staking protocol. So the principle of how this protocol works, it is explained in this slide. It is very easy. So the user has some ETH. The user stakes this ETH into the Lido smart contract, and the Lido smart contract generates this staked ETH that will be sent to the wallet of the user. So the ratio is 1-to-1. If you stake 1 Ether, you get one staked ETH. But of course, as we will see later on, we will understand the difference between staked ETH and wrapped staked ETH, because the balance of staked ETH accrues over time, because this is a rebalance token, while wrapped staked ETH has always the same balance but changes its value. Why it is important to receive this staked ETH? Because we can use them these tokens in DeFi, and we can also earn rewards. So we can get both. We are still getting the rewards, but we can use also this token into DeFi protocols, like for example Aave. So let's talk about the Lido staking protocol. So the Lido DAO staking protocol allow users to participate in Ethereum staking without logging their ETH. Why this? Because we receive these tokens, stETH, that we can use as we like. So our ETH are not logged. So when users stake ETH through Lido, they receive stETH, which is a liquid token that represents their staked ETH, reflects staking rewards or penalties, and can be used across DeFi. This allows users to earn staking rewards while keeping liquidity. What is stETH? stETH is a token representing staked ETH. The characteristics are it is issued in a 1-to-1 ratio with deposit ETH. So as we said, if I deposit 1 ETH, I get 1 stETH. But as I gain rewards, this stETH balance will accrue over time. Okay, so at the start it is 1-to-1 with which I deposited, but if, for example, I wait 1 year, it will be more because I will more tokens will be given to me because they reflect the rewards that I am accruing, that I am getting because I've staked this Ether. So I'm participating into a validator node, and of course I get a part of that rewards. So the balance increases as rewards accrue. It is transferable like any ERC20 token. This allows staked ETH to remain liquid. So how the protocol works? Lido operates through a set of smart contracts on Ethereum. This is why it is a DeFi protocol, because it is not centralized by, governed by any central authority, like for example a bank, but it works, or an exchange, but it works relying upon smart contracts. So these smart contracts will handle ETH deposits, reward distribution, withdrawals. The system is non-custodial, meaning that the user keep control of their asset. So in this case, I'm not trusting a third party, but I'm trusting the smart contract that works fine. Off-chain service also support the protocol by managing validator operations, withdrawals, and accounting processes. So the actors in the Lido protocol are basically 3. The staking users, so the people who deposit ETH into Lido and receive stETH. The node operators, so entities that run Ethereum validators using ETH provided by users. And the Lido DAO, which is the decentralized organization that governs the protocol. So, what is the role of the Lido DAO? The Lido DAO oversees the long-term development of the protocol. So, the governance is performed by LDO token holders, as we will see more in detail later on, who vote on protocol upgrades, key parameters, staking fees, node operator participation, oracle operator sets. So the DAO can also empower committees to handle specific operational tasks. Let's talk about now rewards and penalties. So when users stake ETH through Lido, they receive stETH. stETH holders earn rewards based on the performance of Lido validators in the Ethereum network. So if there are good validator performance, you get rewards. If there are poor performance, you get penalties. But of course, the validators has all the let's say, as of the interest to gain rewards. They don't create these validators to be slashed so that their stake DETH are slashed. They run this software because they want to earn these rewards. So of course there is the possibility that if you don't if you misbehave, you will incur into penalties, but let me say this is something that is has a small possibility to happen, because of course they run this validator to run to get rewards. They have no interest to incur into penalties. So these rewards are penalties, but of course it is important that you know that it is possible to incur into penalties. So these rewards or penalties are reflected directly into the stETH balance. Okay, so this balance can accrue or diminish if you get the rewards or if you incur into penalties. So how rewards and penalties are calculated? So validators earn rewards by performing tasks that help secure the Ethereum network. As we said, these tasks include proposing new blocks, attesting to blocks proposed by other validators. So rewards and penalties are determined algorithmically by Ethereum's consensus mechanism. These rewards depends on factors such as validator uptime, correctness of validation, timeliness of duty, overall network condition. So validator uptime means that maybe you can be slashed with a portion of it because your software was not online for let's say a small amount of time. Okay, it is not just that you wanted to cheat. Okay, you can incur in validator penalties because of course your software it is required to run 24/7. This is just an example. So let's talk about the types of validator rewards. Validators rewards come from two different layers of Ethereum. So the first one is the consensus layer rewards. So they are rewards defined by the Ethereum protocol rules. Then we have execution layer rewards. So rewards that are generated by transaction activity on the network. So the consensus layer rewards are determined by Ethereum's protocol rule. They include block proposal rewards, attestation rewards. These rewards are relatively predictable and depend mainly on validator performance, uptime, and correct participation. Execution layer rewards, on the other hand, depend on network activity. They include transaction priority fee, so TIPS, MEV, which stands for maximal extractable value. These rewards are more dynamic and depend on demand for block space, network congestion, block building effectiveness. Let's talk about MEV and Lido validators. MEV, which stands for, as we said, maximal extractable value, refers to additional rewards earned by validators by optimizing the order of transaction within a block. So this is something that validators can do. They can change the order of transaction within a block to extract value. Okay, so validators often use tools like MEV Boost, which allow them to outsource block construction to specialized block builders and MEV searches. For validators participating in Lido DAO, MEV rewards are sent to the execution rewards vault. This revenue is shared with node operators and stETH holders. Validators follow block proposal rules defined by the Lido DAO to ensure fair reward distribution and network integrity. So let's talk about stETH more in detail. So stETH is a rebasing token. This means that the token balance automatically updates to reflect the rewards or penalties. So the balance is changing. So maybe I start, as we said, with 1 ETH. After a year, I have a 1.1 ETH, for example, of stETH. 1.1 stETH, sorry. So this means, as we said, the token balance automatically updates to reflect the rewards or penalties generated by the validator participating in Lido DAO. The characteristics are: balances update automatically, no user action is required, rebasing happens daily around 12 and 30 UTC. So let's talk about the protocol fee. So the Lido protocol connects three main actors: stakers, so stETH holders, node operators, which are running validators, and the Lido DAO. To sustain the protocol, Lido charges a protocol fee on staking rewards. So our rewards are, we must pay this protocol fee to, because Lido has to sustain itself. The fee is 10% of staking rewards. It is applying during the daily rebase process. It is not applied when rewards are negative. So how the fee is distributed? There are node operators fee, which compensates node operators for running validators and maintaining network reliability. Treasury fee supports Lido DAO operations, infrastructure, and long-term ecosystem development. So let's say that of the 10% of protocol fee, 5% goes to node operators, another 5% goes to Lido DAO treasury. So let's talk about APR and rewards calculator. Let's make an example. So this is the website of Lido. Here you can, for example, calculate an example. What would be your reward? For example, it's if you stake any amount. Let's say I want to stake 10 ETH. So the value of 10 ETH is $21,000, because 1 ETH it is worth right now more or less $2,100. So if I stake 10 ETH, my APR, which is the annual percentage rate, what basically I gain from staking this Ethereum over a year, it is 2.42%, which means that for 10 ETH, our monthly rewards will be more or less 0.02 ETH, which is $42 with today with this value of Ethereum, which, as we said, it is almost $2,000, and the yearly rewards it is 0.24 ETH, which right now it is worth more or less $500. Okay, so now let's talk about withdrawals. How do we make withdrawals in Lido? So in Lido, users can exit their position in two ways. The first one is using nothing withdrawals. So basically, we are making withdrawals using the protocol, the application of Lido. So we redeem stETH for it through the Lido withdrawal system, and this of course takes some little bit of time. Or we can also use secondary markets, so we can swap stETH on DEX or other exchanges checks for instant liquidity. For instant liquidity. In this case, this is instant, but the price may different from it. So let's talk about how to make these withdrawals using the Lido protocol. So to withdraw through the protocol, user enter the withdrawal queue. They are processed, these withdrawals, in a policy which is first in, first out, FIFO. It received matches the stETH submitted. The waiting time depends on queue size and validator exits, so while waiting, users are still exposed to rewards and penalties. So how this withdrawal process works? The first step, it is the request. We submit the withdrawal request. We lock our stETH or wrapped stETH. We receive a position in the queue, which and also here we get an NFT to let's say to register this position. Then we claim. Once processed, the claim once processed, we can claim our ETH, our request. Once it is processed, of course, we can claim our ETH, and locked stETH is burned. So after claiming, we hold regular ETH. Okay, so we are giving the protocol stETH and getting back our ETH. So let's talk about unstETH, the withdrawal NFT. So when you request a withdrawal, as we said earlier, you receive an unstETH. This is an NFT which represents our position in the queue. So it includes our position in the queue, the amount requested, the ETH we will receive. So when you claim your ETH, once you get back the ETH, the NFT is of course burned. Let's talk about withdrawal timing. Withdrawal time depends on the size of the withdrawal queue, the available ETH liquidity, the validator exit speed on Ethereum. More demand means longer wait times, so users can always use secondary markets for instant liquidity. So let's talk about the protocol governance. What is the Lido DAO? The Lido DAO is a decentralized autonomous organization that governs the Lido protocol. If you don't know what it is a DAO, it is very simple. It is an organization that is run by smart contracts. Okay, so instead of having a company where decisions are centralized from a group of people, here all the community can take part in the decisions of the DAO. So the governance is handled by LDO token holders. So this is the token that you have to have in order to participate into the decision of the governance of this protocol. And so it is handled by the governance is handled not only by LDO token holders, but also contributors and delegates and the broader Lido ecosystem. So let's talk about this LDO governance token. It gives holders the powers to vote on protocol upgrades, set fees and parameters, approve node operators, manage the DAO treasury. So voting power is proportional to the amount of LDO tokens that we have. So let's talk about how this process of Lido governance works. First step, it is the discussions. So there are proposals that are shared on the research forum and community gives feedback. Then there is an off-chain voting on Snapshot. So this is a preliminary vote by LD holders. This is done to avoid to spend too much gas on chain, and then there is an on-chain voting, so the final execution of decisions on Ethereum. This is a standard, let me say, a standard pattern of DAOs. This ensures transparency and community involvement. So Lido has a dual governance model. This means that LDO holders can vote on decisions, but stETH holders can veto harmful proposal. This protects users from governance decisions that could harm stakers. So why governance matter? Lido governance controls key aspects of the protocol upgrades, validator sets, fees and incentives, risk management. This ensures the protocol evolves in a decentralized and transparent way. Let's talk about security. What are the risks in Lido, in using the Lido protocol? Like any DeFi protocol, Lido protocol involves risks. This affects stakers, so stETH holders, node operators, and the protocol itself. So there are slashing risks, which means that validators can be penalized if they behave incorrectly. Worst case, slashing penalties, potential loss of staked ETH. Mitigations, that is applied by the protocol, are highly diverse validator set, hundreds of independent node operators, different infrastructures and client setups. Let's talk about smart contract risks. So Lido relies on smart contract. It is a decentralized protocol. So risks include, of course, like all DeFi protocol, bugs or vulnerabilities, unexpected behavior after upgrades. Mitigations are multiple independent audits, bug bounty programs, extensive testing and monitoring. Let's talk about also the Oracle risks. So Lido depends on oracles to update balance and rewards. Oracles, I didn't go too much into the detail because oracles are more something that has to do with the infrastructure of the protocol. Because if I will explain briefly what oracles are. Since blockchain it is deterministic, we need, let's say, another system to bring information from the outside world into the blockchain, like for example prices, random number, and so on. To do this, because the blockchain cannot communicate with external worlds, we use a system of oracles. This is used in almost every DeFi protocol. It is very reliable and very secure. Nonetheless, there are risks, of course. There could be incorrect or delayed data, synchronization issue. The mitigations adopted by the protocol are decentralized Oracle design, multiple Oracle participants, continuous validation of reports. Let's talk about the governance risk. The protocol is governed by the Lido DAO. Risks include bad parameter changes, malicious proposals, governance capture. Mitigations are decentralized governance, voting by LDO holders, safeguards, and review processes. Node operator risks. Validators are run by third-party node operators, so the risks are downtime, misconfiguration, poor performance. Mitigations are selection of professional operators, performance monitoring, diversification across many operators. Let's talk about the difference between stETH and wrapped stETH. So when you stake it with Lido, you receive stETH, which is the default liquid staking token, or as we will see, we can also decide to get wrapped stETH, which is a wrapped version optimized for DeFi. So both represent staked ETH, so the ETH that we put into the protocol plus the staking rewards. The difference is how rewards are tracked. So as we said earlier, what is staked ETH? It is a rebasing token. This means that our balance increases daily. Rewards are added automatically. No user action is required. For example, here, if today I have 10 staked ETH, tomorrow I will have 10.01 staked ETH because this reflects the balance, the rewards. So rewards are reflected by increasing balance. The balance of our staked ETH tokens in our portfolio will increase automatically. In the case of wrapped staked ETH, this is a non-rebasing token, so this means that our balance stay constant, but rewards are reflected in the token value. So, for example, you hold 10 wrapped staked ETH today, tomorrow, and 1 year from now will always be 10 wrapped staked ETH, but each wrapped staked ETH token becomes worth more staked ETH over time, because in this case it is not the balance that is increasing but the value of the token. So rewards are reflected by increasing price, not balance. Why do we need this two version of token? It's very simple because some DeFi application do not support rebalance token like stETH, so we need some token that has a constant balance like wrapped stETH. So the main difference between the two are that this, in the case of stETH, the balance increases over time. It is simple and intuitive. It is great for wallets. Wrapped stETH, in this case, the balance stays constant, value increases over time, better for DeFi integrations. So, same underlying asset, different representation. So, this is something that I have maybe said before. Not all DeFi protocols support rebasing tokens like stETH. The problem is that stETH balance changes. This breaks some protocol. The solution wrap stETH into wstETH. Benefits: fixed balance, easier integration with Aave, Uniswap or bridges, better composability in DeFi. So you can convert anytime stETH to wrapped stETH, as we will see in the application, and wrapped stETH to stETH. You can do this anytime. Both always represent the same underlying position, stETH plus rewards. The difference is only how rewards are displayed. So let's talk about Lido in DeFi. So one of the biggest advantages of Lido protocol is that your asset remain liquid. This is the whole point of liquid staking. Both stETH and wstETH can be used across many DeFi protocols. So you earn two things: the staking rewards, because you have deposited it into the Lido protocol, and plus additional DeFi rewards because you could use this token into other DeFi platforms like Aave and earn other DeFi rewards. So this increases capital efficiency. Let's talk what are the most important use cases of Lido in DeFi. Liquid staking unlocks multiple opportunities in DeFi using the tokens stETH and wrapped stETH. For example, lending and borrowing. In Aave, for example, you can use these tokens as a collateral to borrow it or stable coins, earn staking rewards plus lending rewards. Leverage the staking, so you loop, you do stake, borrow and stake again. This increases exposure to staking rewards. This is a leverage basically. So this increases exposure to staking rewards, but there is a higher liquidation risk. Diversified rewards. You can use it in vaults and structured products with auto compounding, fixed or variable yield, and you can optimize how rewards are generated. Restaking. You can reuse stETH or wrapped stETH as collateral, earn additional rewards, LRTs or incentives. Let's talk about the multi-chain property of DAO. So stETH and wrapped stETH are native to Ethereum. So this means that the validators are on Ethereum. So you basically deposit it and get stETH or wrapped stETH only on the mainnet Ethereum. But the Lido DAO enables to bridge these tokens, so these liquid tokens, to L2s like Optimism, Base, Arbitrum, etc. And this allows user to access new DeFi ecosystem, benefit from lower fees, enjoy faster transaction. Because of course, if I trade, for example, if I use the protocol Aave or Uniswap on a layer 2, I can benefit from lower fees. Instead, if I use those protocol into Ethereum mainnet, fees will be higher. So this is the Lido application, stake.lido.fi. And we basically, like in every application, we connect our wallet, MetaMask. Okay. We make sure that we are on Ethereum mainnet. Of course, now I have 0 ETH. I'm just showing the process because, of course, the Ethereum mainnet has a higher costs than a layer 2. And as we said, the staking on Lido only works on mainnet. So for this tutorial, I would pay, let's say, a huge amount of dollars, like $5 to or more for a demo, and it is not very good to do it. So let's say, for example, I want to stake 10 Ethereum. Also, be sure to use this protocol only if you have a substantial worth of Ethereum, like 1 ETH or more, I would say, because it is not worth to pay, let's say, $30 to stake a low amount of Ethereum, because you will always pay the same amount of gas fees if you stake more ETH or less ETH. But of course, it is not worth it to stake low amount of it, because the cost of the smart contract will be much higher than the rewards that you get. So for example, if I want to stake 10 ETH, here I put 10, and basically here it tells me that I have nothing. Okay, I should here press the stake button, and I would receive staked ETH on my wallet. Here it will give you all the information, so how much staked ETH you would receive, that in this case would be the same of the ETH that you deposit. Here the transaction cost, this is misleading. This is not the whole transaction, but only of the protocol, and this is the reward fee, this is the fee. This fee applies, as it says, to staking rewards only, and is not taken from your staked amount. So this is the protocol fee that we were talking about. So here you have also the statistic of the protocol, the annual percentage rate. So this is basically the APR that we have discussed. This percentage, it says, this percentage reflects moving average of APR for the past 7-day period. This percentage does not guarantee future performance and is subject to change. This is the total staked with Lido, if you want to have a unit of measure of how big the protocol is. So we are talking about 6 million, 9 million of Ethereum, which is staked. The stakers are 600, and the total staked Ethereum market cap, it is worth 19 billion of dollars. So once you stake it and you get staked Ether token, you can also, for example, you do here the wrap and wrap, as we said, because you maybe want to use, there is a DeFi protocol that supports wrap the staked Ether rather than staked Ether, so you can change from one token to another. This is the exchange rate, because of course keep in mind that wrapped staked Ether has a fixed balance. The value of wrapped staked Ether changes over time, while here this value not, and the balance of this token accrues. So they have a different exchange rate. And here, of course, you can wrap your staked ETH or unwrap. So you can go to wrapped staked Ether or vice versa using this page. Then here you can also withdraw. So once you have deposited your staked ETH, you maybe want after a while take your ETH back, and here you can do it. You can deposit, you select the amount of staked ETH that you want to withdraw. You do the request, you submit the withdrawal request, and then you can also claim.
Thanks for watching. If you have any questions or feedback, please drop them in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next one.